When a young woman holding a "Hug Me for $5" sign stops Elon Musk's motorcade on a busy sidewalk, no one expects a heated debate about freedom, jobs, and America's future to unfold right there in the open. Musk, passing through the city on his way to a high-profile tech and innovation summit to promote his vision of a sustainable, opportunity-driven future, suddenly locks eyes with a young woman standing on the sidewalk holding a cardboard sign that reads, "Hug me for $5." Her name is Jasmine Garcia, and she stands with a determined look. Elon leans forward and points. "Stop the car. Stop right now. I want to talk to her." The motorcade halts. Security agents quickly form a perimeter as Musk steps out, adjusting his jacket. Elon stepped out of the car, buttoning his jacket with deliberate calm. As he approached the young woman, the world seemed to hush around him. She noticed him immediately, didn't flinch, didn't move. She just kept holding the sign. "What's your name?" Elon asked, stopping a few feet away. "Jasmine. Jasmine Garcia," she replied with steady confidence. He nodded once. "I'm Elon." "I think you know that," he said, his voice both friendly and firm. "Now tell me something. What's this sign about? You charging people for hugs on a street corner while I'm trying to talk about clean energy, colonizing Mars, and building an economy of the future. What's really going on here?" he asked, tilting his head. Jasmine's eyes locked with his. Her voice didn't waver. "What's going on is that I'm broke. I've got bills, a kid brother at home, a fridge that hums but stays empty. I'm not asking for handouts. I'm offering something simple. People walk past me every day, like I'm nothing. $5 gets them a hug. Maybe it reminds them they're still human," she explained. Elon's brows furrowed. A small crowd began to form across the street. Some pulled out their phones. A photographer darted to the curb, snapping pictures. "You've got freedom in this country. I believe in that. But this feels like giving up. Why not work at a company? Any company? There's opportunity everywhere if you're willing to fight for it," he said, gesturing to the skyline. Jasmine's jaw tightened. "You think I haven't tried? I've applied to 37 jobs in the last 3 months. Everything from warehouses to front desks. Got rejected from every single one. One guy said my tattoos made customers uncomfortable. Another place told me I didn't match their culture." "What culture?" "I'm just trying to survive," she said, her voice growing sharper. Elon stood silently for a moment, processing. "Tattoos? That's their reason?" he asked, sounding more annoyed than surprised. Jasmine nodded. "That, or they just look at me and decide I'm not what they're looking for. Never mind my skills. Never mind my work ethic," she said with frustration. "That's insane. At Tesla and SpaceX, we don't care what you look like. We care what you can do. Are you skilled? Do you work hard?" "That's all that should matter," Elon responded, his tone now more energized. "Then why do people like me keep getting shut out?" Jasmine asked, folding her arms across her chest. "That's the question, isn't it?" Elon replied quietly. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The street noise faded beneath the tension of a conversation no one expected, but everyone could feel. Then Elon stepped a little closer. "You've got grit, I can see that. You've got drive. So where's the disconnect? What are we missing?" he asked. Jasmine's voice trembled, but she didn't look away. "Opportunity. Everyone keeps talking about opportunity. Politicians, CEOs, influencers. It's like a magic word. But every time I reach for it, the door's locked. I've got skills. I'm willing to learn. But it never gets past the resume," she said almost bitterly. Elon's jaw tensed. "The system's broken," he admitted. "And automation, yeah, it's changing everything. But that doesn't mean we just abandon people. We need to create real pathways, support, training. We need to build a future that includes people like you," he said sincerely. Jasmine raised an eyebrow. "Well, so far your future's been skipping right past my block," she said coldly. Elon didn't flinch. "Then maybe that starts changing today," he replied. The sidewalk felt colder now. Maybe it was the wind, or maybe it was the weight of Jasmine's words finally settling into Elon's mind like a stone in his chest. The cameras kept flashing. A live stream had started. Someone across the street whispered, Is this real? But Elon wasn't thinking about optics anymore. He was thinking about a question he hadn't been asked in years. Why does your future skip people like me? He took a slow breath, then spoke. I grew up in South Africa, you know. My father was complicated. My childhood wasn't easy. But I had access to books, to ideas, to computers. That's what changed my life. I didn't come from money, but I came from possibility, he said, almost hesitantly. Jasmine crossed her arms again. And you think that's the same as growing up in Englewood with 2 siblings, 1 bathroom, and a mother who works 2 jobs and still can't pay rent? She asked, a flicker of anger in her voice. Number, I'm not saying it's the same. I'm saying possibility is the only currency that matters, Elon replied. She narrowed her eyes. That's easy to say when every room you walk into bends toward your ideas. You get invited. I get ignored. You raise billions with a tweet. I get ghosted after a job interview, she said, her voice sharpened by years of quiet rejection. Elon nodded slowly. You're right. That's privilege. And I know I have it. But I'm not proud of a system that creates that gap, he said quietly. She looked at him for a moment, like she was trying to decide if she believed him. Then she spoke again, this time slower. Then why haven't you changed it? She asked, not as an accusation, but as a challenge. That one hit. Elon's lips parted, but no words came out. I mean, you build rockets, you rewire satellites from your phone. You're planning cities on Mars, but here on Earth, we're still trying to afford groceries. Doesn't that feel backwards to you? She asked. It does, Elon finally admitted. It's why I started the universal income proposal in a few pilot cities. Why I fund technical training centers. Why I talk to people like you, people who deserve to be heard, he added. Jasmine shook her head. Talking is one thing. Hearing is another. You know how many times I've been told I have potential? That word's like glitter pretty at first. Then you realize it sticks to everything except the places it's supposed to, she said with a bitter laugh. Elon allowed himself a half smile at her metaphor. Fair enough. But let me ask you something. If I opened a door, just one, what would you do with it? He asked. Jasmine's response was instant, I'd blow it off its hinges. I'd walk through, then hold it open for the next girl who looks like me. That's what I'd do, she replied, voice fierce and unwavering. There was a long pause. The city around them didn't care, it kept moving. Cars honking, people pushing past, never quite stopping to understand what was happening here. Elon stepped back a pace, then looked at her, really looked at her. All right, then let's try something dangerous, he said. She tilted her head, confused. Dangerous? She asked. I'll offer you a job. Not charity, not PR, not a photo op. Real work, real challenge. And you'll have to prove everyone wrong, including me, he said. Jasmine blinked. You're serious? She asked, her voice suddenly soft. Dead serious. But only if you want it. Only if you're ready, Elon replied. Jasmine stared at the ground for a moment. Her fingers tightened around the edge of her sign. I've been ready since I was 13, she whispered. 2 days later, Jasmine found herself sitting inside a Tesla campus conference room. Across from her sat Elon Musk. No cameras this time, just a quiet table, 2 chairs, and a single conversation waiting to happen. I didn't expect you to say yes, Elon said, adjusting his sleeve. Jasmine looked at him directly. I've had too many closed doors in my life. When one cracks open, even just a little, you walk through it. Or you'll never know, she replied. He nodded. Still, it's a risk. Tech doesn't care where you come from. It just demands everything you've got. I've already given everything just to stay afloat, Jasmine responded. Now I want to build something that lasts. Elon leaned back, thoughtful. What would that look like for you? A job I don't have to beg for, a future that doesn't depend on someone liking my face, and maybe a way to help others like me step in too, she answered. There was silence, then Elon extended a folder across the table. Let's start with this. Logistics apprenticeship. We'll mentor, train, and if it works, hire. You in? He asked. Jasmine took the folder slowly, her voice quiet but firm. I've been in. No one ever asked before. Elon smiled slightly. Well, I'm asking now. What happened afterward wasn't magic. It wasn't charity. It was what possibility looks like when someone finally listens, not to solve, but to understand. And Elon, a man known more for code than for conversation, had listened. Not perfectly, not with all the answers. But he paused. He asked. He tried. And in today's America, that alone is revolutionary. Jasmine's story isn't about being saved. It's about being seen. It's about a moment when two wildly different lives collided, not with violence or cynicism, but with a question. Why is someone like her holding that sign in the first place? So maybe the real price of a hug isn't $5. Maybe it's everything we choose not to see. And maybe what America needs right now isn't just innovation in code or rockets, but innovation in empathy. The kind that stops a car, that cancels a meeting, that opens a door. Let's keep the conversation going. Subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts below. Your perspective is valuable and might inspire others.